Hey guys, just gonna do a little clutch update. This one is gonna be our Pastel Vanilla Double Het VPI and Albino Male by an Albino, possibly Russo. Fortunately, I'm not seeing any Russo out of the clutch, so I don't think Mama's Russo, but that is okay. Let's go ahead and dig on into these guys. So first up, this guy hasn't quite shed out. All of his siblings have. This is going to be vanilla. Nice little head stamp on it. The coloration's a little bit different than your normal. A little less saturated, I guess you could say. But that's going to be a single gene vanilla. 100% het albino, 50% het VPI axanthic. Everything will be 100% albino. Everything will be 50% VPI in this clutch. We got a good old wild type. And 100% albino and 50% VPI. Colors look a little bit different, so I definitely think you may have picked up both, but only time will tell. Next up here, I'm going to take a look at this Pastel. This is going to be our Pastel. Really liking the contrast. The dorsals on these guys are pretty sweet with all of that blushing, that fading out. Yep, this is your Pastel here. Now they get a little bit better from here. This again is a Pastel, really blushed out on the head. Not a lot of flaming going on, so I do think this may end up just being a Pastel, but I do think it's possibly vanilla as well. And we get to these guys, which are definitely going to be our Pastel Vanillas. They look a lot like the dad. Really, I already mentioned it, but I'm really digging the dorsals on these guys. Get back here, buddy. But check that out. It's pretty freaking rad, if you ask me. Pastel Vanilla there. This one here is probably my favorite out of the clutch, even though it's not even a visual albino. Come on, get into your friend there. Really lightened up the yellows from the Pastel. This guy just wants to go home already. Super light on the yellows. Lots of blushing, that head. But again, these dorsals on these guys are just really, really cool in my opinion. This one might be my favorite out of this clutch. But now we'll look at the visual albinos. So this here, I'm gonna say it's an albino, possibly vanilla. Really hard to say with albino. There's a lot of others, but we do have some flaming going up the sides there. Kind of hard to see on the camera, but hopefully you can. Nice oranges there. We have this one here. Also thinking it's albino, possibly vanilla. The sides on this one are pretty sweet. Not quite lavendery, but pretty lavendery if you ask me. I do think this one is going to be your albino vanilla. And last but not least, do you think this is going to be an albino Pastel? I don't necessarily think there's vanilla in there, but it's definitely a possibility. Just a lot deeper yellows than the other ones, so I'm leaning more towards just a Pastel albino. But regardless, they're all pretty cute, they're all pretty sweet, and they're all doing well. So we will talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.